Hello and welcome. I don't know if this video is going to be published or not, but I'm doing a test solve, a case for Jean Wolleh. Still don't know if it's Wolleh or Wolleh. I think it's Wolleh because he's German. Called ATM. Jean, I'm excited to see you joining the ranks of case authors. And enough chit chat. Let's dive on in. Start my timer. In this case, money is withdrawn. It's about cash. When you withdraw money, you usually get notes. Often you can't choose them. A wide variety of mostly fake values for notes are defined. In real life, for example, we have dollar notes for values of 150, 20, 10, etc. Here, for example, there's a note with a value 673. ATMs do not have unlimited notes, therefore there are limits to the number of notes. Okay, and we got bonuses. I'm going to just get into the levels first to get oriented. I guess I'm going to hide the feedback. Oh, that's interesting. Anyway, I'll just make that white for now. All right. So you want to withdraw money. The amount and the value of the notes are given. How many notes will you receive? So I guess these just all divide in evenly. Yes. Okay. You want to withdraw money. The amount and the value of the note are given. Unfortunately, the amount does not always match with the available banknote. What is the average of the next larger and next smaller possible amounts that you would withdraw exactly? Okay, so I'm going to say this over this. Sorry, got it. Yes. So it's going to be, I guess, int of that. Oh wait, hang on. Is this always non-integer? Yes. Okay, good. So then it's going to be int of that plus 0, 1. Or actually, no, it doesn't even need to be plus 0. It's just plus 0.5. This is going to be the average of the two times that. Yes. Okay. Level 3. From now on, several notes with different values are given. How many notes will you receive in total? Your target is to receive as few notes as possible. Answer 85, 27, 15, and 1. Ooh, interesting. So the question is whether you can apply a greedy algorithm or not. For now, I'm going to assume that you can. Sort by column. And I guess I want to sort in the other direction. Okay, so first we'll say mod of this by this. We'll leave you at 78, and then mod of that by that. And that, and that. Hopefully it'll always leave you at 0. And actually, this formula would be easier to keep consistent if we just link this to here. But it is possible, I know, because I'm a mathematician and I have thought about these things, that the greedy algorithm will not be the ideal thing, which does complicate things just a little bit. But anyway, so I want this minus this divided by that. So 25 of those, 2 of those, 1 of those, 9 of those for a total of 37. That is the answer. Wait, what? Oh, sorry, yeah, okay. What's going on here? Okay, it's just some vast number, fine. Okay, so I'm going to carry on for now, but I do want to come back on this and check. Because it's like, for example, if you want to give I can't think of it. I think that there are examples of where just taking the most you can of the biggest one and then of the second biggest one and then of the third biggest one is not actually necessarily the best way. I can't think of a good example. So let's say if you had I don't know, I'm sure of it, but I can't think of an example, and watching me think of an example is not a good video. So I'm going to go on for now. Notes are sometimes only available to a limited extent, this time taking into account the limits. How many notes we receive in total? Target is few. Okay, fine. So this is the value. This is the limit. I think at this point it probably warrants a model and a data table. Let's see how much harder this gets. Now choice which bank to go to. Oh my god. Okay, sorry. There's only 10 banks for those levels. Okay, got it. Alright, so we've got a bit to go yet. Alright, well, let's just do fill for example 4. Actually, no, that is what it's called. Fine. So, amount value limit. How many 85s are we going to get? We're going to get min of int this over this and this. And then we're going to get this minus this times this. I think that just carries on. So is the answer supposed to be 4? No, it's supposed to be 55. What? You'll receive 1785s. Oh, wait, what? Oh, sorry. Yes. I can't just sort. I have to sort by. Silly. That was. Oof. Well, that's why there are examples, I suppose. Anyway, sort by that array, or -1. And now we get 55, which is what we're supposed to get. Good. Now we've got to apply that to a bunch of banks. So note 1, amount, note 2, note 3, note 4, note 5, note 6, note 7. Oh my god, okay. Fine. So, yeah, I guess let's just do a new one, L5. Example 5. So, let's do it like this one. Do index of. Oh, sorry, that's a different. Wait, what? Oh, sorry, that's for level 6. Yeah, fine. Let's just do this then. Let's take all of these, and then let's take here. I want 7, 1, 2. Oh, except that I want that to be sorted. Fine. So let's just. Are these, they might already be in descending order. Guess we'll soon find out. In which case I can just leave them like that, actually, can't I? This is greater than this. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, happy days. A little bit of non-cruelty there. Okay. Start with 2. That's the limit on the number. Okay. So now the amount we start with is going to be from here. Oh, I'm interested in placement. Okay, fine. So the amount we start with is going to be x lookup. No, sorry. Let's do x match this against b. And we want index. KCN, never mind. G to H. B1. Okay. Alright, so we want the value left. I want to know how many of the note. So this yellow. Then it's going to be the min of int of this over the amount and the limit. And then here it's going to be this minus this times the amount. Okay. So then the total number, sorry, that should be separated, but never mind. And sorry, the minimum is 25, which I think is what we wanted. Yes. Okay, so then it's going to be sort h stack of this with this by position 2. No, sorry, in ascending order. Okay, and then we're interested in index this. Row number is this, column number is 0. And then we want to text join that by, with that, finance group, column 20, yes. Okay. Level 6. You have various projects ahead of yourself and want to withdraw money for each measure of games in a project. Okay. You want to carry out each measure with its own bank, so you're only allowed to withdraw money from a certain bank once. Goal is to get as few notes as possible into. Oh my gosh, so you have to allocate the. Wait, hang on, 20. Seems like too many. Oh, sorry, okay, so like these are all one project. I see, I see. Oh my god. 7 of those and 7 of those. Okay. Wow. Okay. Which bank do you use for which project in order to have as few notes as possible overall in a project? The example 6 bank can only be used for example. Only use the banks for level 6. Oh, interesting. Okay. So it's going to look a lot like that for level 6. Okay, so no, I don't want example 6. How am I going to do this? First things first, I got to do one project at a time. So let's take this. interested in, yeah, interested in figuring out these numbers as the other thing varies across all of the things in the project. So get rid of this input. Okay, didn't mean to make a German, but never mind. Then I want to say that my row input is going to be this. So for instance, just to double check I'm doing it right, because I don't usually do data tables that way around. Yes, 36. Okay. So now I have to pick 7 from 10, so it's definitely going to be a per column situation, so I'm importing lambdas. Here I have 6 things, right? Yes. So let's do per column. From 10, I want to choose 6. Yeah, I think that is right on all of this. So I want index this, I this, and sequence, comma, 6. And then I want by row sum. And then I want min. That's one, and then I guess, yeah, actually, set of things, transpose of all of these. Just interested in a project as well. But, okay, get rid of those. Okay. Then I'm getting there. Not quite there yet, but I'm getting there. That's G, and then I also want to transpose H. Okay, cool. Minute, but not too long. Okay, good. And then, oh, wait a second. Wait a second. Right. I have to figure out which bank. Okay, so then I don't just want to return that. I want to return what? So we're going to say let. No, sorry. So let's say let columns be for content 6. Fine. Actually, no. Sorry, let in be 6. That'll make it easier to change later. And then we'll put in there and in there. Just leave that. Okay. Then I want to well, I guess first I want to sort by row. Wait, sorry, I haven't given this a name. This is called vowels, I guess. Sort by row, vowels, sum. Okay, so they are unique. that's good. So then we'll move that to here, change n to 7, just make sure that's also unique. That's slow, but it is unique, that's good. And here, unique again, good, okay. So then, what I want is to sort by, I think. I want to sort comms by that. And then I just want to take the first one of that. Calculator to do that, fine. Okay, so what if I did h stack of comms with vals, take one, and then we could wrap rows of that. Because what I'm realizing is I need the index number to figure out the bank name, and I need the value. Wrap rows of that by n. Yes, I think that's what I want. And then again, we make this 7, and we expand this. Okay. Thank you, Bo, for writing a very efficient program. Okay, so yes, then that's the bank number. So it's going to be index this lock by this and colon and this. I think those are the answers. I wish I felt a little more confident of them, but I think that is it. Okay, let's look at the bonuses quickly because we're almost out of time. What is the most common note offered by banks? Okay, hang on one sec. I remember Jean sent me a message saying a clarification on one of the bonuses. And it didn't make any sense to me, but now it probably will if I can find it. Here. Okay, no. Okay, what? Okay, so I'm assuming it just means these banks, including the example. I don't know. I guess I'll just put a note here saying which banks. Just bank tab, include example, but for the time being, I'm going to assume it means every note in this table. So we're going to say to all of this. That's going to be 100. Yes, that's the right way. And then I want to wrap rows of that by 2. So that's going to give me these are the amounts, these are the limits, and then I want to take from that the first column, and then I want to wrap that in most of. And yeah, well, I guess that makes sense. The most common note is 1. Cool. Okay, if you were to withdraw all amounts from levels 1 to 6 without examples as one sum, how many notes would you receive? You withdraw from the bank with the least money reserves first. Okay. I'm going to come back to that one. That looks like I might not have time for it. Levels 1, 3, and 4, how many notes will you receive in total that are less than or equal to 10? Okay. So this times less than, sorry, so here it's just all of them are less than or equal to 10. And here again. Oh, wait. So, what? Okay, I guess the answer here is this divided by that. Take the half, not including the example. That's weird. Oh, wait, no, it said 1, 3, and 4. That must be why it excluded 2. Okay, cool. All right, so here I want to sum ifs. One of these things is the number of notes. This one, oh my god, where? Why? Okay, so yes, that's the number, and this is the total. Okay, so we're going to say sum ifs this where this is less than or equal to 10. Okay, and just make that orange, and make this orange also. And then level 4. Gosh, I feel like I'm going very slowly. Okay, oh, yeah, over here, but same basic idea set up. So this, how many you get? Yes, fine. So it's just going to be sum ifs this where this is less than or equal to 10. Okay, so then it's going to be sum of this and well, that's a bloody large number, isn't it? All right, for project 2 in level 6, there are 1841 ways to get the same number of banknotes. How many notes would that be? Okay, so, sorry, for project 2, here, go as far as vowels. If you were to withdraw all amounts from 1 to 6 without examples as one sum, how many notes would you receive? Withdraw from the bank with the least money reserves first, and then continue ascending. Okay, so blah, just glad before div. So 10 of these, another 11 of these. This, I think, is the thing that the comment he sent me a message about. So it says, for bonus 2, all banks are supposed to be used. I didn't include bonus 2 as level combat. Okay, got it. So in other words, we're using all 21 banks. Fine. So then, total reserves. And we're going to say wrap rows this by 2. So that's going to give you an array that is the amounts in one and the limits in the other. Then we're going to say by row product, and then we're going to sum that. So that's the total reserves. Womala, there are some big numbers there. So I just sort. No, I don't want to sort that because it'll break up. Okay, fine. Let's just make a copy of it and sort that. From the bank with the least to the bank with the most, right? Yes. All right. So now the next thing is, what is the total amount to withdraw? Target is this. Not including examples, but I'll go back and check that in a second. One, two, three, four, six, yes. Available. Yes, good. So then we're going to running dot scan 0. So you're basically going to take everything out of every bank except the last one, and then you're just going to withdraw the balance from the last one. So from last is going to be this. No, sorry. Yes, this minus this. So you've got 387 trillion or whatever that is out of the first bunch. So then you need to get 12 trillion or whatever that is out of the last one. Okay. So then we're going to wrap rows of this last bank in twos. And yes, it's already sorted because I figured they're all already sorted. So, oops. So this is how many, and this is what's left. Oh god, that was left. Okay. So then it's going to be the min of int this over this and this. Whoa, why is that triggering a full recalc? That's not good. Let's make sure data tables are turned to partial. Good. Okay. So then it's going to be this minus this times this. Okay. So then the question is what? How many notes? I think. How many notes do you have again? Yes. Okay. So notes before last. Total notes. So let's go back to this wrap rows. And it's going to be sum of take the second column of that. 700, yes, 100 of everything. That makes sense. Good. Okay. So then up to the last bank, we have that many. And then from the last bank, we get this many. So the answer is, wait, sorry, this many plus that. Right, so just about got done with 5 minutes overtime, which I think was just on this one. Now let's see which things I've actually gotten right, and which not. Ah, dang, I got that one wrong. All right, that's good, that's good, that's good, that's good, that's good, that's good. Okay, good. So everything's right except that. 20 notes, yeah, okay. I guess I will, I don't know, I guess I'll take another look at that, but maybe not on camera, I don't know. So yeah, everything except that. Okay, so first things first. No, this tab. Ansel, which is, yes, that's the limit. So let's just do the sum of this. Yep. So if I add up all of those, that gives me 2190,325, which is exactly what that is. Fine. All right, I don't know. It's a little late here, so I think I'm not going to debug that one right now. What I do want to come back to, though, just because it is bugging me, is this. I guess it applies then to a bunch of other things, but I have this idea in my head that the greedy algorithm is not always the right approach. I'm trying to think of an example. So, suppose you had 25, 20, and 1, and you wanted to make 40. Then, by the greedy algorithm, you would take 1 of that, then you've got 15 left, so you take 0 of that, and then you take 15 of that. But if you did not take the greedy algorithm, you would take 2 of those, and 0 of those, and 0 of those. So yes, my intuition was right. Now the question is, am I going to recheck all of these for best possible? That is not easily done. On the other hand, I would find it immensely satisfying if I found a better answer than one of these. So let's give it a quick go. What would it look like? Definitely cannot all possible scenarios because here's like 100 billion and 2. So is there an efficient way? Well, I guess one thing you can say would be LCM of all of these, because anytime you have an LCM made up of any combination of these, the most efficient way to express it would be with the biggest coin. So then you could consider the value of coins to be assessed, mod that, and those are all smaller numbers, but they're still not small. Yeah, like 77,000. There are here, as an example, I bet there's a way to use 81. So what's going on here is you take off whatever 114,000, take off 114,000 87s, and then you take off 51s. I bet there's a way to replace some number of those 87s with these. I mean, even if you just change one 87 to 81, sorry, no, that's nonsense. Sorry, you get 50 left. So if we could add another 14 left. So yeah, if you change 3 87s to 81s, that would leave you with 3 by 6, 18 more. So you'd have 68 to do with the same number of coins used up, and then you'd have one of those and 4 of those. So yes, this one at least is not correct if the target is to withdraw as few notes as possible. Now, from that point, I could then go and try and build a solution to the much harder general problem, but I don't think that's what we're aiming for here, because I don't think Jean wants to set a problem that hard, or else he wouldn't have come up with this as the answer. So I think I'm just going to hit pause there and let him know, and probably it's just a question of changing the instructions somewhere to just say, take as many of the biggest note as you can, and then the next, and then the next, and then the next, and not sure what happened there, but if I figure it out, I'll include it in the video description, or I will record an add-on to explain. All right, that's all I got for today. Thanks for watching. See you next time.